Rich, back at it again, baby. And we got a continuation of the story of Eminem, the full documentary. It's part number 2. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. If you want to support your boy, go and cop that merch too. Links are down below. Let's go.
Father figure.
You know, I was their protector. You know, and I would take him fishing. I try to teach him what a man was supposed to be. I'd get on him about homosexuality to make sure he knew that, you know, boys go with girls and, you know, vice versa and, you know, things like that.
They moved around a lot, so he didn't have a lot of stability. So those are some of the early things that may have begun to make him think, is the world a trustworthy place? Is it okay?
In the middle of the chaos, young Marshall began to find expression in music.
Marshall was surrounded 24/7 with music. While he was in my stomach, I was singing to him, you know, and take the speakers and put all through the house and the rooms. We just always sit against a wall and just be like he'd hummed himself and just bounce back and forth.
Constantly. Bounced off the backseat of the car, the couch. If there's music playing, he did this.
The teachers would tell me, this kid is retarded. You know, he's bouncing in his desk. He has to sit still.
He'd go like this all the time. He was real hyper. And I had to have him on Ritalin. And he'd keep going like this and keep going like this.
He bounced off the back of the seat the first 8 years of his life. Rocked to the music.
Bro, I'm just picturing a little kid just constantly. Yeah, that might be a little concerning if they just constantly just, even in class, ain't no music playing, you just sitting there chilling. He got the music playing in his own head though. You just
Growing older, Marshall would find escape in the fantastical world of superheroes and comic books.
He was wanting to act out cartoon characters. And so I would let him.
You could open the door in his room, and he'd have Castle Grayskull going. Okay, he'd have his cartoons on, he'd have whatever he wanted, but he entertained himself a lot. He was all he had for years. He liked it that way. I mean, you know, he played with friends, but he liked, you know, entertaining himself and creating his own little world.
He was into Batman, and he was Batman.
So everywhere we went with him, he had to wear that outfit.
You know, most kids, they'll go, yeah, Batman, and jump off of something, but he had the lines down, he had the moves down.
A lot of times kids, when they feel like their external world is impoverished or they feel neglected, they need to feel big and powerful and strong. And they can feel big and powerful and strong by associating with X-Man, by associating with Batman and Superman, because they have superpowers then. So it really helps them feel like, okay, maybe I'm not so small, maybe I'm not being as abused as much, maybe the world can be okay because I can be He-Man.
Marshall's blossoming artistic abilities provided a quiet retreat from the chaos of his surroundings.
Marshall loved to draw. They'd get into a lot of arguments and squabbles with teachers saying he did not draw this free-handed. So I would say to them, okay, well, let's have him draw something. Sit down and draw, tell him what you'd like him to draw. Because he could draw anything.
Debbie and Marshall continued to move with Marshall changing schools as often as every 2 or 3 months.
He was always a new kid, and if he did return to some place he'd been before, he was usually behind, and so those kids didn't know him from before, so he was always starting over somewhere. He talks a lot about this nomadic upbringing in his music, this sort of peripatetic life where he's jumping from one place to the other.
Yeah, that's hectic.
Ronnie, Betty's son, Debbie's brother, was only 2 months older than Marshall. While Betty and Debbie clashed on how to raise them, the two boys would continually bond.
Their little carriers sit side by side and they'd make their little baby talk, goos, you know, and there was a bonding already there.
When they were together, you should have seen them. I mean, you couldn't really tell the two apart. And they both had the same color hair, about the same height, and when they talk, they sound, you know, just about the same.
I encouraged them too to laugh and dance and be happy. The two of them are quite a team.
Did not want my mother around Marshall, and that was just me. I had to be there. And Marshall had been told so many lies. I didn't trust her around him, and the dysfunction, the yelling, the screaming, the fighting, the drinking that my stepdads could have been doing. I didn't want him subjected to it.
We didn't get too much time together as they started getting older. Debbie, we kept pulling Marshall to Michigan and Ronnie to Missouri.
As Marshall approached the end of his grade school years, Debbie and Marshall would settle permanently in the Detroit area, a city still reeling from the race riots and major destruction only a few years earlier.
There were a lot of tensions at that time, a lot of racial tensions. The city was in such chaos that the National Guard was mobilized.
In the streets of Detroit, a racial war zone had been created by the '67 riots. Marshall would find himself in the middle of all of it. They always lived in neighborhoods barely a step above the ghetto. And in Detroit, Marshall consistently found himself one of the few white kids in predominantly black schools.
The neighborhood that Eminem grew up in is particularly interesting because there are still houses there and people still live in them, but they're just across the street from the suburbs. What you end up with there is a neighborhood where people have sort of filled in the gaps. It's almost like hermit crabs. You know, they found a shell that suited them and they could afford. They moved in there and they finally became homeowners. And just across the street, not too far away from there, are the people who moved out, who feel like they didn't move out. They didn't make a choice to move out. They were driven out. And so there's a lot of bitterness and there's a lot of tension, that 8-mile divide.
As a 9-year-old at Dort Elementary in Roseville, Michigan.
Didn't know that.
Marshall was bullied for months by an older student named D'Angelo Bailey. These beatings came to a head in January 1982, when Bailey cornered Marshall in a restroom and floored him with a snowball packed with a heavy object. No one reported him missing from class, and he was found unconscious and bleeding hours later.
Damn.
It was a nightmare. When my son did not come out of the school, and the school denied it, they do that. And they denied anything about my baby laying in a pool of blood in the bathroom, and I found him laying there and running out to my van with him, with, you know, the teachers and principals.
Oh, bro, I'm getting a check. Got me a check, I got a check. Yeah, I done got me a check, I got a check. I'm getting me a check. Boy, I'm coming back up in that school with about 10 lawyers. All right, maybe not 10, but we gonna get it in. You know what I mean? Boy, I'm getting that check. You mean to tell me my kid been in the bathroom, knocked out cold, laying in his own blood, and y'all, like, nobody checked? Like, hey, yo, where's Marshall? He ain't come back to class. Nobody said nothing. All right, bet. That's cool. Appreciate you. Thank you. Because now I done got me a check. I got a check. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hesitate to say, like, I'm happy you did that shit. Obviously, you would never be happy that your child is laying in his own blood, you know what I mean, in the bathroom. But like I just said, got me a check, I got a check. You know what I mean? Oh, hell no. But yeah, that's pretty much how my situation went down too. You know, I told y'all that story. We met in the bathroom, and that's where we scrapped it out at. Now, lucky for me, I was strong enough at that time. I had enough confidence at that time that, you know, it didn't go the way Marshall's situation went. You know, I whooped some ass that day. You know what I mean? Your boy kicked some ass that day. I was the big dog. You know what I'm saying? I was the big dog. I ain't bully nobody, but, you know, the bully got bullied that day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shit. Hey, it was a beautiful day for your boy. It was a beautiful fucking day.
You know, well, we had a skeletal crew. We didn't notice him missing. No one knew how long he'd been there. My main concern was to get him, you know, medical treatment. And because he was, when I found my son, he was on the floor and he was having a seizure. Oh yeah, we getting that big check. We getting that fat check. We getting that. You've been eating pizza rolls and fucking honey buns and candy for 10 years straight, along with some McDonald's every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We getting that fat check. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shit, in today's age, I damn near would have pulled out my phone real quick to record it. Like, yep, I got evidence, Judge. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, right after we got to call 911. You know, gotta make sure the kiddo's straight. But you know, some people, he wasn't having no seizure. Nope, Judge, I got evidence. I took a 5-second clip of him seizing on the ground right before. You know. Sing it for me. Sing it for me.
The attack left Marshall in a coma for 10 days.
I went in and begged God.
Ooh, we ain't gotta work another day in our life type of check. Man, this check just get fatter and fatter. God damn. Oh yeah. See. You know what? Hold on, let's see.
To spare my son. I was an only child, and told him if there was anything ever I did wrong in my life, to take me, not my child. They told me they gave up on my son. 4 doctors. In 4 days, 21 doctors.
Once awake from the coma, Marshall's recovery would be long. Having to relearn all his basic motor functions, he also suffered from headaches, loss of vision and hearing, nightmares, and nausea.
My medical bills were in excess of over $150,000. I had to quit my job to take care of him. And I mean, it was overwhelming.
Anytime you have any kind of head injury, it can be life-changing. So when you have an injury to the brain, the effects can be really long-lasting. I had a patient many years ago who had a head injury, was meek and mild before, turned very angry and aggressive afterwards.
It took a year for Marshall to bounce back. I had to work with him every day, teaching him how to tie his shoes. He had become almost like an infant. With the medications I had him on, the Depakine and Dilatin, low pressor, when I give him the medication, I seen a zombie. And I did not want him zombied out. I didn't believe in it, so the medication was going to go.
Now, obviously, we're all happy that he pulled through, including myself, you know, even with all the jokes that I was making about getting the check, you know what I'm saying? That's obviously a serious matter. But we all know he made a full recovery, and he's good. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the GOAT today. And who knows? Maybe that changed something in his brain that day that caused him to become the GOAT. I don't know. But one thing that I was gonna say is I'm glad she didn't majorly sue that school system or that school. Because if she would have got that check, that was gonna be a fat check. Y'all remember that Marshawn Lynch interview where he was like run through a motherfucker face over and over and over and over and over, and he just kept saying over again. Nah, but yeah, that would have been a crazy fat check. Like, to the point where shit, it might not have had to go out there and make music to make a couple of dollars. Like, he might have been straight already, so he might not have become a rapper. You know? But shit, me? I'm getting that check. Got me a check, I got a check. Y'all. I done got me a check, I got a check. Y'all, I done got me a check, I got a check. I'm singing that shit all the way to the bank. All cash, please. Thank you. Walking out that bitch hunched over. Bag so goddamn heavy. Fuck. Ugh. Shit. Marshall, help me out with this bag, son. Fuck you mean? Yeah.
It comes from my grandmother's side. She rapped all of her life. She called it rhyming. And she said when she was a little girl in Alabama growing up, she remembers her mama working the fields, cotton fields. You know, whites worked right alongside the blacks in the cotton fields. And they used to rhyme songs and make up things as they went to pass the time.
Marshall's father was in a band, and then when we went back to Williston, he was in a band somewhat at the State Line Club. And then I was in a band when we went back to Missouri, which was called, it was Rod and the Satellites and Daddy Warbucks, which I had sung a little bit of backup.
I play guitar, I play piano, I write.
Marshall, he loved music. His first concert was the Talking Heads.
Ronnie played drums, and Marshall tried his hand at drums too.
Ronnie was artistic, but not near like my grandson Marshall. Ronnie was always, I mean, when he was little, I got him toy drums and little boom box, they call them, and he'd turn it up full blast, and boy, he'd just dance all the time.
Eminem's uncle Ronnie, who was about the same age as Eminem, is given a lot of credit for sort of infecting him with the rap bug.
In 1981, Ronnie played a song for Marshall that would change his life. It was Reckless, a song featuring Ice-T from the soundtrack to the movie Breaking. It was the
Bro, why didn't he just say featuring me?
first rap song Marshall heard. He took the tape from his uncle Ronnie and played it over and over and over.
He started breakdancing in Lebanon, Missouri, and had me hold a sign up that he made, a great big cardboard sign around my neck, and it said breakdancing, 25 cents to watch. And I mean, this kid could spin on his head for hours. It's like, you know, you're gonna wear your head out. I can remember him sitting in his room
25 cents.
for hours. Basically, he'd sit up there and play the same beats over and over and over and write. He would wake me up like at 3 o'clock and I went, Mom, is this a word? Does this rhyme? He's like, just please help me find it. So we get the dictionary out. Yes, it's a word. You know, and what's the definition of it? And him and my brother Ronnie would do stupid tapes together and act, you know, like they were performing in front of people.
So when he got into music, it was like his natural sense of rhythm came right into his play with his stuff.
The two of them, I can just see them. Here become Ronnie with the speaker from this side and Marshall from this side and Eaton in the front. They were going to be big singers and rappers, the two of them. They were going to go far away, and they were going to be in movie pictures with the rapping and singing.
That was me in middle school when I made my mixtape with a few of the homies. We literally were sitting in the living room just replaying the same instrumental over and over and over. And we was just writing our own verse. Let me see. Hey, you ready to restart it? Okay, cool. Hey, check this out, bro. What you think? that was literally you know what I'm saying? I gotta fucking find that CD. I have yet to find it. I don't remember throwing it away. I think I might know a spot it could be, a place it could be. I'm gonna have to check after this video, but I'm telling y'all, if I ever find that CD, actually I might be able to hit up my old principal, because I'm pretty sure I sold him a CD on the last day of school in middle school. We was selling them bitches for like $5 a pop. It was either like 25 or 30 copies. It wasn't anything crazy, because I didn't think they was gonna sell. I really didn't. We sold every single one. Every single one. It was like 25, 30 copies. Sold every single one for $5. Legit. and in basketball games, we would warm up to our music. You know, do the layup drill and all that good shit. We would warm up to the songs that your boy made. It was lit. It was lit. It was super lit. But man, I gotta find that because y'all would have a good ass time. Obviously, it wasn't like anything over the top or you know what I mean. I was literally in middle school, but I feel like for a middle schooler, it was cool. You know what I mean? It was cool. It was cool for a middle schooler.
I mean, I just see them, and sometimes I see them, and you know, it's wonderful, and other times I break down and cry.
Marshall's Ice-T influence would need to stay strong to pull him through some serious life changes.
Should we end it here? Yeah, we'll end it here. I feel like this is a good place to end because we kind of like got like a long pregnant pause right here in the video. But yeah, man, part 3. Gonna try to make sure I drop that for y'all tomorrow. So make sure y'all stay tuned. I appreciate all of the continued love and support, man. Thank y'all. I know I've been slacking. I know. I've been slacking like a mother lover. And I do apologize about that. Been busy, you know, doing some other projects and things. But yeah, gonna try to get back on this daily Eminem grind. We ain't stopping. Don't get it fucked up. We ain't quitting. You know what I mean? We keeping the MVids rolling out. We just been slacking on the daily MVids. Okay, we just that's all. We gonna keep them rolling though. We gonna keep them rolling. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. Y'all know what to do.